He can fly anything. Hotshot pilot Poe Dameron was an integral character in the sequel trilogy as part of a sort of quote-unquote trio of main characters. Not only is he an amazing pilot, but he's also an aspiring leader. Nowhere do we get to see this growth better than in books and comics. Hey everyone, my name is Emma Park. I'm a content creator here at Youtini, and today I'll be talking about what to read if you're a fan of Poe Dameron. But before I begin, please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted when Youtini drops a new video or goes live. With that, let's get started. Before we dive into this list, if you'd like to read any of these books or comics, make sure to check out the book profile page on youtini.com and click the affiliate link. Alright, let's dive into it. The first book on the list is Poe Dameron Volume 1 titled Black Squadron by Charles Soule, with art by Phil Noto. This is a canon graphic novel with an official Youtini score of a 7.2 out of 10. This volume takes place in 31 ABY, which is just before The Force Awakens. We get to know Black Squadron, which is the group of pilots Poe leads. The growth we see in Poe throughout this volume, as well as throughout the series as a whole, is the most attractive feature of this series, as well as the awesomely drawn dogfights. This volume in particular is the best starting point since we are familiarized with Poe's squad, as well as the main villain in this series, Agent Terex, who is a unique member in the ranks of the First Order officers. This book contains key moments of development in Poe's character and gives much more meaning to his scenes throughout the sequel trilogy. Next on the list is Resistance Reborn by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is a canon adult novel with an official Youtini score of an 8.7 out of 10. The main selling point of this book is that it fills the gap in between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker and answers the key question: how did the Resistance bounce back after their numbers dwindled so much that they could all fit on the Millennium Falcon? And Poe plays a key role in this recovery process. We get to witness firsthand Poe learning how to become a better leader and how to inspire a group despite the worst of circumstances. Anytime we get to see Leia mentoring Poe is always enjoyable, and there are plenty of those moments in this book. If you want to know how Poe goes from getting demoted in The Last Jedi to leading an immeasurable number of Resistance fighters, then you need to read this book. Next on the list is Allegiance by Ethan Sachs, with art by Luke Ross and Lee Lowridge. This is a canon graphic novel and doesn't have an official Youtini score as of the time of this recording. This 4-issue miniseries takes place before The Rise of Skywalker and stars our main protagonists. The Resistance desperately needs more people on their side, so they go to Mon Cala. As for Poe, he teams up with Finn for their own mission to help the Resistance get supplies. Next on the list is Before the Awakening by Greg Rucka. This is a canon young adult novel with an official Youtini score of a 7.2 out of 10. This book contains some really intriguing information about Poe's history with the New Republic and the Resistance. After all, the purpose of this book is to learn more about our three main heroes' lives before The Force Awakens. We get to join him on a mission with his squadron in the New Republic, and even follow his journey all the way up to meeting Leia and being assigned to find Lor San Tekka. It's a great read not only if you want to learn more about Poe, but also if you want to witness the stark difference between the ideals of the New Republic and the Resistance. Next on the list is Star Wars Adventures 2017 Issue 15 by Michael Morici, with art by Ariana Florian. This is a canon single-issue comic and doesn't have an official Youtini score at the time of this recording. This issue is a fun story featuring a mission with just Poe and BB-8. They're stuck on a remote planet and are attacked. Poe and BB-8 work together to get out of this sticky situation. The issue, while short and ultimately not ultra impactful on the greater story as a whole, is proof of just how strong the bond is between BB-8 and Poe. Next on the list is Age of Resistance, Poe by Tom Taylor, with art by Leonard Kirk. This is a canon single-issue comic and doesn't have an official Youtini score at the time of this recording. This issue is really special because it's the first time we get to visually see Poe in the New Republic. Frankly, it's quite bizarre to see Poe in New Republic blue instead of an orange flight suit with a black helmet. That aside, we see Poe and BB-8 on a mission for the New Republic, and they run into a certain familiar someone, or at least familiar to the reader, not to Poe. I won't say who it is because it's totally worth the surprise, but it provides an interesting dynamic that will make you really think. And getting more of Poe's backstory is always incredibly interesting. Next on the list is Shattered Empire by Greg Rucka, with art by Marco Cicchetto. This is a canon graphic novel with an official Youtini score of a 7.6 out of 10. If you've heard of Shattered Empire, you probably know that this takes place before Poe's time, but this is still extremely important to his story because one of the main characters in this miniseries is Shara Bey, a rebel A-Wing pilot and Poe's mother. We also meet Poe Dameron, rebel pathfinder and Poe's father. It's truly amazing to see the different qualities that Poe gets from each of his parents. Next on the list is Spark of Resistance by Justina Ireland. This is a Canon Junior reader and has an official Youtini score of an 8.1 out of 10. The premise of this book is that Rey, Rose, and Poe are on a mission for the Resistance when they hear a call for help. Of course, they go to help and find that the First Order is occupying the planet. They find a weapon that the First Order is also there for. Not only does this book feature a trio that we rarely see together on screen, but we also get to see how well they all work together. And it's another story between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, which is a really fascinating time period. Last on the list is Poe Dameron Freefall by Alex Segura. This is a canon young adult novel with an official Youtini score of a 7.8 out of 10. Poe is a teenager in this book, and he's living on Yavin 4 with his father Kes and family friend and future Black Squadron member Lula Lampar. Because Poe has an insatiable sense of adventure and a desire to do more, he's unhappy on Yavin 4 and decides to escape the planet with none other than Zorii Bliss. Getting to see the origin of Poe and Zori's relationship alone makes the book worthwhile, but the real selling point is, quite possibly, the one and only Babu Frick, my absolute favorite. But in all seriousness, this book is the exact backstory that we need to learn more about Poe and how he becomes the man we see in the sequel trilogy. That'll do it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed our guide to the best books and comics featuring Poe Dameron. But we want to know what you think. Comment down below and let us know. Our Discord server has amazing conversations on these books and many others, so I highly recommend joining in at youtini.com/discord. If you'd like to help support Youtini, links to all of the books mentioned in this video can be found in the description below. And while you're down there, you can also find the link to Youtini's Poe Dameron collection. If you want to take a deeper dive into the books, check out the Living Force podcast, or catch the live show every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/Youtini. Visit us online at youtini.com for timelines, reviews, and book profiles for every single story in the Star Wars galaxy. Lastly, if you'd like to help support Youtini more directly and get more content from us, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Youtini. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.